and sit down.
Welcome, everybody, to the 3POA podcast, episode 97. I'm your host, LaserPants, also known as Ryan. I am joined, as always, by my good buddy, the man behind Action Force, and the CEO of Valaverse, Bobby Vala. Welcome, Bobby.
What's up, man?
How the hell you doing?
I'm great today, baby.
Yeah?
I'm great.
Hair's coming in.
Hair's coming in.
Looking good.
Feeling good. Feeling good. Tattoo's coming along. Body's coming along.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm good, man. I'm working on some stuff.
Can you show the tattoo yet?
Yeah, so they gotta like fill in more of that, but like the tree is starting to look really nice, and
wow.
They still have to, they're gonna color in all the leather, like brown leather and stuff, but yeah. I was hoping that I would have like all of this and this done before the two shows I'm doing, but they're not. So I kind of have like a half done tattoo. But that's all right. It'll be done soon-ish. And yeah, but I'm psyched about it because it's like, it's nice. Like I've never really been a tattoo guy, but I've always wanted this. Like I always had this idea, and like I look down, like, it's like cool looking to see it.
It's Lord of the Rings inspired, right?
It is. It's so Boromir had these bracers on his arms. Everyone yes, they're Aragorn's, but Aragorn kind of stole them off a dead body. They were Boromir's when the Fellowship went on. When Boromir died, Aragorn kind of took them as like a homage to his dying pal, and then he wore them through all the movies. They were like his thing, and so I always love that about Boromir and Aragorn. So yeah, that's why I got it.
Cool. Well, I didn't get a tattoo, but I did get something custom made by an artist, I believe in the Philippines, but I can't.
Okay.
But he might be from Malaysia. And I did show this on the last Wednesday show, but you didn't see it. So I wanted to show this because it's really, really well done and really cool and really funny. But I got the dude playing the dude disguised as the other dude. I mean,
that's amazing.
Isn't that perfect? I mean,
that is amazing.
Spot on.
Did somebody do that for you, or did you buy it like that?
So, the head sculpt, this is just the stalker body from Classified.
Yep.
But the head sculpt is from Instagram user oldboyctts.
Okay.
And I bought several heads from him over the years, toy head sculpts.
Okay.
To be clear. And he put this one up, and I was like, oh my God, I got to have that one, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I got it, and I showed Chad, and it turns out he was also making 1/18 scale. So Chad got one in 1/18 scale, yeah.
So did you have to paint it, or were they already painted?
Fully painted, man.
Fully painted?
Yeah,
okay.
This is not 3D printed. It's not. Like there's no you can look inside. There's no.
So he molded and casted it. Okay, so
yes.
He probably 3D printed and molded and casted it in resin. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Send me that user because I need to order one of those figures or one of those heads.
I will. Yeah. I hope he still has them because he usually does. He's like the Jack of Salt, or what's like the guy that makes the skulls?
Oh, Jack of the Dust.
Jack of the Dust, where he'll make a run and then he's done.
Got it.
But
which, speaking of that guy, so I thought I was done buying skulls. There was always one more that I wanted, but I was like, all right. He just did a big drop. Now I'm like one of the VIPs, so I get an early look, and and I could purchase stuff early. And he put stuff up, and I'm scrolling through, and he had the skull that I wanted, and I'm like,
oh no,
okay.
And you got it?
I got it.
Was it the Patrick Bateman that he did, or what was it?
No, but that's amazing.
Yeah, that one's cool.
The ones he does that's like half and half, like some of the skulls exposed, are cool. Like I have the Statue of Liberty like that, but they're big and they take up a lot of room. I got one that's one of his original designs that is like a fan favorite. But yeah, it'll arrive in June. I'm very excited about it
Awesome.
because now I have this idea for this new display that I want to do in the office, and you'll understand after DFW when I announce a certain new line and my infatuation with it, and you'll understand why I'm going down this rabbit hole.
Exciting. Yeah, Scott Hughes and Zakanin put the link to Old Boy.
Thanks, guys.
In the chat there. So check him out anyways. Give him a follow. He does a lot of cool stuff. I think the first thing I ever got from him was a Jango Fett clone head.
Oh,
yeah. He was knocking it out of the park back in the days.
Okay.
He's been making head sculpts for a long, long time. But anyway, now you put out a video today, Bobby, and
did it get spicy? It got spicy today.
You put a disclaimer on the front where you're like, no politics in the comments or I'll boot your ass out of here. Right? Pretty much.
Yep.
What you said was, well, I mean, you say what you said. You said what you said.
I said what I said, which maybe the disclaimer maybe should have been a little different, but it is what it is. The video is out there, but it was straightforward. It's
right.
Here are the rules of the game. You come in here, like Chad says, you coming in on my yard, like,
right.
I just wanted to the purpose of the video, which was very, very clear, very obvious after watching it, was to talk about the tariffs and how Valaverse is handling it moving forward and at the moment and then moving forward. Now, yes, and people are like, their political nature, how can you not talk politics? Like, you obviously missed the point. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, we know people can't have like, I don't know if it's social media or just human nature or whatever. We can't communicate as humans anymore.
Right.
We have a very hard time, especially when we disagree. We have a very hard time communicating. And it's like, people tend to have really firm beliefs. And it's like, it's not like, okay, listen, we talk bad about companies on here. We never tell anybody not to buy something. You buy what you like. People tend to think we try to force people to not buy something. We've never been about that. So I knew that the video, it's like, we know where the tariffs came from. We know it's no secret. I didn't what
real quick. There's a guy in the comments that said, and it's the same guy that I posted about on Instagram the other day when Legion X83, or I think that's what it is. Same guy. He's like, well, if you don't say like the cause of this or who the cause of these tariffs are, then you're a coward. I'm like, wait, you need someone to tell you that Donald J. Trump, president of the United States, signed the executive order to institute these tariffs? You need someone to just tell you the facts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, water's wet, buddy.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how the tariffs came into play.
Yep.
No one's disputing that, I don't think.
Yep.
Wait, what was it? Was it Condoleezza Rice? I don't. Was it? I don't know. Was it Tom Cruise? Who did it?
Peter Venkman.
Was it Peter Venkman? Yep. No, it was Donald Trump that instituted the tariffs at 145%.
Yep.
On Chinese imports.
Yep.
That's. I guess he just wanted to hear someone say that because maybe he wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's like we're not trying to hide anything. It's like we're talking about the tariffs. Like, tariffs were in place before Trump was ever president to a certain point. But it's like everyone has an agenda, whether it's for the left or for the right. It's like, hey, guys, the middle's really nice. The middle's really, really nice. It's warm here. Like, everyone's cool. Everyone chills out. The middle is probably where you want to be. But it's just like people come with an agenda. And it's like, look, I wanted to make sure that I was very clear. I didn't want the comments to become people just fighting, because that's what Facebook posts are. And that's what all that garbage is. And it's like, that's why, like, I'm not in Facebook groups, and like, because people don't know how to communicate as humans. They're just,
they don't know how to agree to disagree anymore.
100%. But it's like, I say it, and it's like, did people not think I was serious? Like, because yes, I removed a bunch of comments. I did not block. I think I blocked one guy because he was insulting people and just being vile. So I was like, but if it was a political comment in nature, gone. I just deleted the comment. Or, Matt deleted the comment. Like that. I told Matt, this is the understanding. Me and him, usually Matt runs the channel. Matt handles all the comments or anything like that. But I said, you know what? Because this is going to generate a lot, I went in there from time to time throughout the day. But it's like, people didn't, like, did you not think I was serious? Like, I said it. I made the statement, and people still did it as if, like, they thought, like, and people would say, like, people were almost celebrating it. Like, I can't wait to get booted, but I'm going to say it. It's like, okay, well, it got removed. So would you get your 10 seconds of fame there? Like, what did it do? No, and then it was like, people they just weren't getting it. And it was getting so frustrating, because I'm just like, look, man. And there was a user that has been a fan of the line for many, many years, good customer, but came in with an agenda and was just upset that I was taking away free speech. And it's like, dude, it's my channel. Like, this is my channel. I can do whatever I want on my channel.
Sure.
If I want to turn comments off, I can turn comments off. If I want to leave all the comments, I can leave all the comments. It's my channel. Like, so I was trying to explain, look, the point of the video was to explain how Valaverse was handling it.
Right.
And they just did, because when people have a certain agenda, they cannot get their mind off of it. So he kept going. I said, here's a perfect, I'm going to give you a scenario. Someone says, hey, want to play a game? Okay. In this game, the only rule is you can't say the word purple. If you say the word purple, we're going to blast you with a tennis ball. Okay. So you understand the rules? Yes. Okay. Do you still want to play? Yes. You're going through the game. You say the word purple. You get blasted with a tennis ball. Well, then you get blasted with a tennis ball, and then you complain that you got blasted with a tennis ball. And it's like, I told you the rules when we started the game and said, do you still want to play the game? And you said yes. And then you complained because you got blasted with a tennis ball. I did the same thing. I said, I will not tolerate the politically charged comments. Like, yes, tariffs are political in nature, but you don't have to say who's bad, or I don't like this guy, or Merca, or like, I don't care. It was both sides. You guys want to think I have an agenda? You're dead wrong. Everyone who's assuming, you are dead wrong where I stand. I said something about the middle, didn't I? So if you made a right-leaning comment, you're gone. If you made a left-leaning comment, you're gone. I treated everyone the same. If Talker came in there, he probably would have been gone.
Yeah.
And I wasn't blocking. Like I said, I wasn't blocking. I was just removing the comments. Just removing them. Like,
yeah.
Did you guys not think that, like, I said it. You knew the first 5 seconds of the video what I was gonna talk about and what I was gonna say, and these were the rules. But people want to say, you're stopping me from my free speech. No, I'm not, because you can go out on your porch and you can say anything you want out there, whatever.
Yep.
You're on my YouTube channel. That's my porch.
Look at me.
I made the rules.
Look at me.
I'm the captain. So it's just like I almost lost a little bit of faith in humanity this morning because I was just like are people really this dim?
Well, here's the thing.
I didn't want to believe it, but it was like,
yeah.
The more I kept seeing, I'm like, wait, did these people get a high school education? Did they go to school? Do they know how to follow instructions? No. Like when you go to the bathroom, do you know to wipe your butt? Like, you know that, right? Like that's the way to follow the rules. You just pull up your pants. No, I'm going to do my own thing. But
here it is. I brought up Spencer's comment. He says toy collectors, and I would say most people on the internet can't talk politics without it turning into vitriol.
Yep.
And I blame that mostly on media. Okay, and it comes down to what media you watch, right? What news organizations or, what experts that you get your information from, right? That's kind of what it comes down to. But all that aside, we don't care what your solution to the tariffs are. We don't care if you think they're good or bad. The fact is they're here. Yeah. So we're not discussing whether they're good or bad for the country. We're not discussing possible solutions or whether they should be higher or lower or not exist. Any of that. We're discussing they're here, how Bobby's going to handle it, and how we think maybe other toy companies and retailers are going to handle it, and what might happen. No one's going to agree on the solution, right? No one's going to agree on the politics behind it, but how businesses handle it, we can discuss that, and that's what this is. So we're not telling you who to vote for. We're not telling you what's good or bad. We're telling you how it's going to be handled and how we think it might be handled by other businesses. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And just so everyone knows, yes, it was Donald Trump that signed the executive order. It was his choice to institute the tariffs on Chinese imports and other countries. Okay. Water's wet. Sandico, I want to go to the chat before we really get into the meat of the discussion. But Sandico Denon says this should be a terrific stream. Hopefully there won't be too many terrifying comments. I love dad jokes. That's great. Cody Walls, thank you for becoming a channel member. Channel member, stay tuned. There is an after show tonight. Also, if you are an upper tier, actually, I think I left it up for both tiers, tater tot and loaded potato. There's a straight out of the theater review of the Thunderbolts that me and my kid went and saw last night. Spoilers, we both enjoyed it. But you can check that out if you haven't already.
How dare you like something, Ryan?
I know, it's a sin nowadays. I want everyone to tell me how wrong I am for liking an MCU movie. Look, if it's good, it's good. The MCU's been real bad for a while.
Yeah.
But we liked Thunderbolts. Yo, Joe Jerk is here. What's up, Jerk?
Didn't he got his channel back? Wasn't Jerk going through something with his channel?
I wanted to mention that. He got his account hacked and lost access to his YouTube. He missed his stream on Thursday.
Oh, shit.
But he's got it back now, so hopefully all is good in Yo Joe Jerkland and with the Mega Powers podcast. And he says, thank you, LaserPants, for the help with Twitter. It really helped get the ball rolling with getting my account back. Absolutely, man. I was happy to help. And the 2DS, the Nintendo 2DS arrived today, and my kid was thrilled. So thanks for the hookup on that, man. Much appreciated, Jerk. Good dude. Everyone should be subscribed to him and checking out the Mega Powers podcast on Monday and Thursdays. It's one of my favorite toy streams. And there's a lot of toy streams. Don Von Doom says, awesome. Bobby gonna emasculate Ryan over and over. Lawrence Howard says, I watched Bobby's Tariff video this morning. It was good. Thank you, Lawrence. Hope all is well, buddy.
Thanks, man.
True Star Screamer member for 4 months. Thank you. He says, happy Saturday. Me and the missus are cuddled for some 3POA and chill. Feel free to sax her up. I got to find my sax. There it is. He says, great Tariff vid, Bobby. quell the doom and gloom for a bit.
What, like, and the thing, like, just going back to the comments, it's like there was 400 comments on that video. 90% of them, people understood the rules and were able to have a conversation without an agenda.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, or like, hey, what can we do this? Can you, why can't you make it America? This and that, blah, 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 which I'll get to throughout the show. But it's just like, it amazes me to see the majority of people act like humans. And then it's like, there's just people that like, just can't get out of their own way. And it was almost sad in a way. Like, I was just like, man, I thought humans were better than this. Like, I really did, but apparently not.
Another thing we should disclaim is that, we get toys are just one aspect of it. But I often get the comments, you're always ranting about toy companies, but you never mention these evil oil companies. And it's like, well, dude, I don't have an oil collecting podcast.
Right?
I have a toy collecting podcast. That's what we talk about here. Okay, so yes, I could rant about oil, and I could rant about war, and lots of stuff I could rant about, but this podcast is specifically, it's about toys, about our hobby.
Yep.
It should be our escape. Sometimes we got to talk about, maybe things aren't so good on the horizon, or maybe it won't be so bad. We'll find out. But thank you, True Star Screamer. Matthew Blair says we aren't talking about the agendas and the hows and whys, because we already know why, right? He says we should be talking about the results, the repercussions, what it might cost us as collectors. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
Headcanon Unlimited says bottom line is tariffs are here, and now I want to know the actual impact. So I think we're going to discuss that. Also, let me tell you right now, I'm no economist. I'm certainly not a businessman. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I'm just discussing it from a hobbyist perspective, from a very uninformed, non-expert perspective. This podcast is supposed to be entertaining above all, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Bobby's the one that's in the business. That's your job, Bobby.
Apparently.
IE Toy Hunter says if it was a Democrat doing these wild tariffs, right would lose their minds. And this is what I'm saying. I'm like, people are split down the middle, and what one is doing, the other one's going to hate, and what one isn't doing, the other one is going to love, and it goes both ways and applies to both. And as far as this discussion goes, none of that really matters because that's not what we're here to talk about. Figure Fight Club says, what's up, Ryan and Bobby?
What's up?
What's up, Bobby? Alex Sanchez. What's up, Alex? He says, I'm going to ask a political question, and I don't care. Does Chris Benoit deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, listen, man, that's I don't even want to, like, Ryan, that doesn't even, like, register with you, does it?
I will say no, that he murdered his family.
Yeah, man.
I will say no. That it doesn't matter what you did in the ring. I don't think you deserve it.
Well, it's not a life Hall of Fame. It's a WWE Hall of Fame.
Was he that impactful? I mean,
I was and watch, I'll get canceled for this because I'm saying I was a Chris Benoit fan. What he did was terribly wrong. I would never condone anything he did. But it's like, as a wrestler, it's like, listen, he was in the ring. What he did in the ring was very good. I enjoyed Chris Benoit's work.
I mean, O.J. Simpson was a good football player.
Well, exactly. O.J. Simpson was a good football player, but he killed some people allegedly. But so it's just like, Chris Benoit was a touchy thing. I mean, and it's like, I feel, I think about like Chris Benoit's son, like his one surviving son. It's like his son's older, and it's like, like, how do you feel? Your dad killed your family. But it's like, your dad did amazing things like in his career. So it's just like, that's got to be awful for his son to deal with,
Sure. I mean, I don't think he should, but whatever. It's not like I'm going to protest.
He'll never be.
No.
He'll never be.
If anything, he's a footnote.
Yeah.
George Aitken says Valaverse is a business and not a political movement. And I'll say the same thing about 3POA podcast. We're just a podcast.
Yeah,
we're not trying to influence politics or your opinions on politics. Super Tiso says it's a tough situation for any side and it's going to force tough decisions. Absolutely.
Yep.
Spec Ops Labs, thank you for joining the channel. Stay tuned for the after show and check out the other content. More content is coming for channel members. I've got plans for at least 3 separate videos besides just after shows. And I say just after shows. After shows are the best part of channel membership, but thank you, Spec Ops Labs, for joining the channel. Headcanon Unlimited, thank you for the super chat. He says, we know how the tariffs got here. We heard speculation on what the impact will be. Now all I want to hear is, what is the actual impact of the tariff on a company I consistently patronize? Reasonable.
Yeah, 100%. That was the point of my video.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Thank you. World Made of Cardboard. Hello, John. He says, just trying to help with the tariffs. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Hope to see you in DFW. Our friend V. Conley. What's up, V? Thank you. Samantha and I will be coming to IshCon. Oh, wow. Cool.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Bringing my dad and brothers to their first toy convention. Awesome.
Awesome.
Man, you know, I almost came to IshCon.
Really?
I was going to buy a flight and just show up and not tell anyone, but it just didn't work out with my work schedule. I couldn't make it happen.
Well, you're not a real fan.
Yeah, I'm not. Of IshCon. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Conley. Figure Fight Club with the super chat. Thank you. He says, hey, Bobby, why haven't you shipped out my Steel Brigade yet? I ordered it yesterday. Thanks for putting them out again.
Well, I guess I'm canceling an order now.
Sorry, Abby. Okay.
Want to be a smart ass.
Also,
my porch, my rules.
That's right. Also, to the mods, thank you. And I apologize for what you're about to go through tonight.
Is it bad already?
I don't know. I hope not, but you know.
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
My voice needs to be heard.
Exactly. So the tariffs, Bobby, they're here.
They're here. They're here.
Right off the bat, a lot of people. I saw a Star Wars website post something about the HasLab Cantina.
Yep.
Saying that with 145% tariffs, he did the math, it was going to be like $1,100.
But
hold
here's
on.
the thing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I corrected him.
You know what I'm going to say, yeah.
I corrected him in the comments. They never took the post down or amended anything.
Of course not.
It's not 145% of the retail price.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 145% of the manufacturing cost.
Yep.
Which is still a lot.
Yep. It's whatever you declare your value of your shipment when it leaves the port.
Right. So, $25 Marvel Legend should not go up to $55 or whatever that would be. 145%. You know, if a Marvel Legend costs $5, then the tariff would be $14.50.
Yeah.
So that would bring the total to $14.50, I guess. So it could go up $9.50 per Marvel Legends. So you're looking at like $35 Marvel Legends, maybe $40. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows if it'll go that far? Hasbro is still putting up figures for pre-order at $25 as far as Black Series.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's like, you know, I talked about the Spider-Man. One guy tried to tell me I was wrong on the Spider-Man. It's like, well, where were your facts? But it's like they put that Spider-Man up. He was $30
on Pulse.
On Pulse. So it's
hold on. Big Bad was $35. Entertainment Earth was $40.
So it's like, all right, well, you know, how do you explain that? It wasn't a deluxe figure. It's same regular everyday Legend. But you know, no one wants to touch on that. Okay, well, yeah, I have my theory, but okay.
But yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to get that out of the way. If you think that the tariff means that the price of your action figure or whatever item you're buying that's from China is going to go up 145%, that's not what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, people just like to jump the gun. And that's the other thing about like social media and people just throwing up out of their mouth all the time is that They don't stop and think before they say something. Like, dude, do your research. They just, oh, bad man, 145%. It's like, no, it's on the manufacturing cost. Like I just said, and now here's the thing. What's going to happen is, like I said, it's on the cost. So when I ship my orders out, the shipping company says, what's the declared value? Because I have to take out insurance on the value, because if the container falls in the ocean, I need to make sure I get that money back so that I could produce it again. So you have to declare the value of your goods. Now, some companies might start saying, well, say you have a $50,000 shipment. They're like, oh, well, what if I say it's only 15,000? Okay, that's fine. But if it falls in the ocean and you're out, you're only getting 15,000 back. What are you going to do about the other 35,000? It's a gamble. So it's like, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of fraudulent reporting going on with the ports and customs, that sort of thing. The way I see it, man, you don't want to, cheaters always get caught. So it's just like, just report it the way it is. It sucks. It hurts. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because, say karma gets you, and that container falls in the ocean, or something happens to the boat or something. What are you going to do, man? You're out. You're out. Then you can't replace your goods.
Yeah. Mike Joseph says, now this is about that Spider-Man figure, the Tobey Maguire symbiote suit.
Yep.
He says they did it because they felt they could, because it was Tobey Spider-Man. That original 3-pack from No Way Home was over 90 for no reason.
Well,
he's not wrong.
He's not, yeah.
Yeah, that 3-pack was crazy. But then when they released them single carded, they were each 25.
And they had the same exact figures,
but they came with an unmasked head.
Okay.
So they came with an extra head, but like one less hand or something each. Oh. Something silly.
Something silly, yeah.
That was just that slimy, like, double dipping that Marvel Legends always does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Hasbro Pulse put Tobey symbiote suit Spider-Man up at 30.
Jeez.
Now Big Bad is always a couple dollars more, but this time they went up $5 to 35. And EE Entertainment Earth came in at $40 for that figure, or maybe it was 38. It was something ridiculous.
I'm actually shocked Entertainment Earth is still in business.
Like, their retail front is small potatoes when it comes to their overall business. They're a wholesaler. They're the middleman.
Yeah, but still, it's just like, shit, man. Yeah, they're like a diamond, basically.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right. All right. So you were talking about overreacting, and we've seen some retail already raise prices on things.
Yep.
But something was very peculiar on the Super 7 website. You go to their website, and these are in-stock figures. G.I. Joe Reaction, right? Even like this Cobra Commander says low stock, right?
Okay.
This Duke came out a while ago, $20, right? You can add this to cart. Right, there it is, $20. You can add it to cart. It's in your cart. Tariff fee, 8%.
Get out of here. For an in-stock item?
And Duke has been in stock, I believe, since last year.
No way did they do that.
They put tariff fees on in-stock product that's already been here. Your tariff, you pay tariffs at the port. They don't come into your warehouse and say, all this stuff you got to pay a tariff on now that you've had for months and years.
Get out of here. All right.
So this is, in my opinion, taking advantage of your customers and praying they are ignorant to how this all works.
How is this not like mainstream toy news right now? Like,
maybe Veeves will bring it up the next time he interviews Brian Flynn. Who knows?
Listen, I know I'm hard on these guys, but I'm gonna like put personal feelings aside and like kind of reach out to them and say, guys, look, Veeves, yes, I've talked a lot of crap about you guys, Pixel Dan, yes. This is disgusting. And I get it. You know, you do stuff with these guys, you know, Dan and Veebs both interview Brian Flynn. This is unacceptable. Like, you guys can't sit there and just not even address it. Like, this 100% has to be addressed. For you guys, and I know, like, you know, I've heard, well, you know, Dan makes it about the toys and he talks about the toys and this and that. Yeah, but you're also like a news outlet. Like, people watch you, whether you want to be or not. You are there because people hang on your words and your reviews and this and that. You cannot, this is not okay. This is not okay. Let me tell you something. If I did this on Valaverse.com, this would be on every single toy group ever made that I was doing this.
They would crucify you.
Crucify me. How is it, like, for guys, and I've treated Super 7 very poorly, but this is like, guys, we're on the site. Like, Ryan pulled this up. This isn't fake news. Like, this is real.
This is from today.
Item. This is an in-stock item. Now, I just want to know, like, listen, we need to clip this, make a short of it, share it everywhere. This needs to go around. This is unacceptable. This is awful, like, dealings with their consumers. You cannot do this. Like, you can't do this.
Here's a Lord Draken, $55 ultimate. You add that to cart. Tariff fee, $4.40
on an in-stock item.
In stock, shipping now. This has been in stock since before the tariffs.
Unreal. And they're not even like, if they called it like a handling fee or something like that and tried to disguise it, okay, they're like, it looks even worse. They should have, like, covered it up.
Well, they're shipping and handling on top of this.
Now, do they charge actual shipping, or do they do a flat thing like me and Big Bad?
The Super 7, I don't know, but they don't have free shipping. Not for, like, a single item, I don't think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh. I need to have a talk with Matt, because Matt films for Pixel Dan. Like,
well, I know
this is bad. This is unacceptable levels of bad.
I have not seen any Brian Flynn thing on Pixel Dan's channel. Does he interview? Oh, I guess he does interview Flynn, but
yeah.
it's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know,
he did hold. I'm going to defend him a little bit. He did hold Brian's feet to the fire over the vac metalized Silverhawks.
Did he? Well,
yeah, he was like, "This is yeah." If I remember right, I forget which con it was at, but he was like, "Come on, man," you know.
Okay.
And then, you know, Flynn gave him some stupid answer, and they moved on.
Well, here's the thing. Now, I know I'm gonna sound like I'm dunking on Super 7 like I always do, but like, I don't follow them, so I might be out of the loop here, but I feel like they haven't, like, talked about new stuff coming out. Yeah, the turtle stuff. People are gonna say, "Oh, the turtles." Yeah, I'm saying up until the turtles. What new stuff were they really talking about? It's like they lost Disney licenses. You know, they lost several licenses. And then it was like, oh, well, you know, they weren't allowed to do the certain turtles they were doing. So now they have to do the 2003 or something like that turtles, which now that's the big news for them. But it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're doing all right. Big Bad had their shit at 50% off a while back. And it's just like, now, another rumor I heard. I'm saying it's a rumor. I don't want people to think like, oh, you're dunking on Super 7. Listen, I heard this from an outside source, so I don't even know if this is true. I'm saying it's a rumor. I'm saying I heard it secondhand. That Super 7, because of the tariffs, cut salaries at the office. I don't know how true that is. I mean, maybe we can get someone who works there to tell us.
Probably not.
Yeah, right. I had heard that, you know, and I would love to know if that's true. If that's true, that's unfortunate. Now, granted, they are in the most expensive city in, you know, outside of New York City. You know, San Francisco is incredibly expensive, and, you know, Brian Flynn's got to, you know, get that money. But it's like a company bought into them for like $20 million or some crazy amount of money like that. But it's like, put that all aside. This is unacceptable. Listen, guys, we have a big community here. I want you guys to share this everywhere. This is unacceptable. You cannot charge tariff fees on an in-stock item. Well, and they need to come out and explain why they're justified in doing this.
So, frequently asked questions. This is from their website on tariffs. What is the tariff fee? Dear Super 7 community, we want to share an important update about how recent changes in global trade and import tariffs are affecting us. Starting on April 24th, an 8% surcharge will be added to all non-apparel items. We didn't come to this decision lightly. For as long as possible, we've worked to absorb these rising costs ourselves. They just rose. Okay, without passing them along to you. Unfortunately, the scale of these increases has made it unsustainable for us to continue doing so entirely. Even with this surcharge, it still doesn't cover the full impact we're facing. We're doing everything we can behind the scenes to minimize the effect on our community. Maybe that's the salary cuts.
Maybe.
If conditions change or a better solution becomes available, we'll reevaluate this surcharge immediately. Super 7 has always been about more than just toys. It's about the people who collect them. We'll keep you updated every step of the way, and we sincerely appreciate your understanding and continued support during this time.
So, yeah, but again, it's in-stock items. It's in-stock items.
It says, will previous orders be subject to the tariff fee? So if you already have an order locked in,
pre-order.
It says no orders. No orders previously placed, including pre-order and pre-sale items, will not be subject to the fee. The fee will only apply to new orders, but it applies to products you weren't tariffed on.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do I'm not saying they can't do it like there's a law. No, it's just wrong. That again, I would be chastised if I did this.
Oh, you would
chastise.
They'd string you up.
Share this everywhere. Listen, I want them to handle Super 7 the way I get handled by the community and their hatred for me. It's like, dude, I'm not doing this. How can you justify this? How can you really justify this?
Man, Beast Boy says their excuse is to cover future tax tariffs on them.
Hey, man, you can't. But that's the thing. It's like that's so morally wrong to charge someone. If you're buying an in-stock item, they're charging you for something that someone else is going to order down the road.
And they could have just put that in their frequently asked questions section here. We know that it's some of our products that are in stock weren't tariffed, but to offset the tariffs on the new stuff, we're going to just put it across the board on everything 8%.
So bad.
They could have said that, but they didn't. So
it's hey, listen, and I would look because the haters watch our show because they hate me. But it's guys, listen, I know you hate me. That's okay. It's cool. But you gotta. I'd love to know your opinion on this. Someone who hates me and loathes me and wants the Valaverse to go to business, I want to know your opinion on this. Again, yeah. So it's guys, look, it's all got to be fair. Everyone has to be handled equally. This is not okay. 100% not okay. Share it everywhere.
Let me. Okay, so then we go over to Entertainment Earth.
These guys.
Just boy, if I could tell all the stories I know. They've already raised prices on things that have been in stock. This Red Hulk has been in stock for who knows how long. But that went up a couple bucks. They've kind of raised prices on everything a couple bucks, stuff that's been in stock. Like this Wolverine and Lilandra 2-pack went up $4. That's been in stock since last year. That's last year's item, early last year. This amazing.
Can you do
Spider-Man.
me a favor? Yeah. Can you look up if they're carrying any Valaverse Action Force stuff? They shouldn't be, but if they still are, I'm gonna laugh.
I'll have to open up a tab.
Oh, okay. Because I tried to contact them because I told Diamond. Now they only order from Diamond, not anymore, but
right.
I told Diamond, do not sell to Entertainment Earth. I don't want Entertainment Earth carrying my products. They had Series 2 up for pre-order still in 2024. It's like, dude, that series was 2.5 years old. Like, and I told them to take it down, and they're like, okay, we'll look into it.
I just searched Valaverse.
Yep.
Nada.
Okay, good. So they took it all down. Good. But it's again, like up until 2024, they still had, I was getting messages from people saying, hey, I ordered, Trigger from Entertainment Earth. Am I ever going to get it? I'm like, no, cancel that order. You're never going to get that.
Well, there's your answer, Lewis. He says, why doesn't EE carry Valaverse or Mythic Legions? Mythic Legions, I don't know, but now you know why they don't carry Valaverse.
Listen, I reached out to them when I stopped working with Diamond. There was like a show. I was working with Diamond, then I wasn't working with Diamond, then I was working with Diamond again. But I reached out to Entertainment Earth and I said, hey guys, look, come to the horse directly. Like, I want you to get, guys to carry my stuff. I was like, I'm not working with Diamond, but look, we can work directly together. I can give you the wholesale pricing. You could save on, because Diamond marks up and then sells to them.
Right.
And they were like, someone will get back to you. And I sent like 3 or 4 messages and no one ever bothered reaching back. I tried to get it to Entertainment Earth and they're just run incredibly poorly.
Real quick, we currently have over 500 people watching. Thank you very much. Please hit that like button. Much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. Yeah, we got 496 on YouTube, and the rest of them are over on watching on Twitter. About 50 people watching on Twitter. Thank you very much. All right, so there's EE. I mean, you can see here, we know like this stuff has been in stock for quite some time, and its prices have been raised on in-stock items on Entertainment Earth. Now, Big Bad, they initially, I wish I had screenshots, but they initially started raising prices on pre-orders. Their maximum Spider-Man is still up for pre-order. They raised it by $5. That's not in yet, though. So they will get tariffed on that. They've also sent out an email that we're going to get to that explains they're going to have a surcharge that you can either accept or cancel your order. But you look here, like Chameleon, been out for a long time. That's been in stock pre-tariff, gone up $3. Or in their case, I guess $2 because they're always $1 more than everyone else. That's why they have $4 flat shipping. To me, this seems like it's either an overreaction or taking advantage of customers. I don't know.
They were always good about keeping my prices at retail.
Yeah.
They never jacked them up. But
I didn't bother looking up Valaverse on BBTS, but I should. Let's see here. I'm just typing in Valaverse. Yeah, Valaverse items are still regular price.
Okay, good.
So there's that Spider-Man at 35. Now, I would expect it to be more than Pulse. That's normal. 5 seems like a bit much, even for them, right? But there could be a surcharge on top of this. Here's the letter from Joel. He sent this email out. Was that the guy at Big Bad?
Yeah, Joel runs Big Bad. Yep.
He says, hey, hi, everyone. I'm writing to share with you how we are working to handle the rapidly escalating tariff situation. I want to be transparent and honest with you about the impacts of these tariffs. This is a complex situation, so I apologize upfront for the length of my note, but I feel it's important to be as clear as possible in this difficult time. Tariffs, what just happened? Well, we know. 0% tariff rate several months ago, 10%. So, yeah, the tariff started at 10%. Then it was doubled to 20%. Anyways, it ended up at 145%. We all know that.
Yep. No secret.
He says the impact is going to be rising retail prices on products impacted by the tariffs. But I think I'm seeing products that were in stock that have gone up. So I think they did like an across the board thing, kind of like
Super 7. It's a let's
and Entertainment Earth.
Yeah, let's jack things up so that we can offset the stuff that's coming. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that extra $11,000 I had to pay for my tariff shipment? Yeah, I'm gonna go put that on the people placing Steel Brigade orders right now.
Did you?
No.
I know you didn't. How could you absorb that much? That's so much.
What are you gonna do, man? It sucks, dude. It sucks. It's not a small amount of money. It's $11,000. Like,
I mean, listen,
shoot, man.
I kind of like the guy, but you're gonna have to fire Jordan.
I'm the behind the scenes guy.
Not anymore, Jordan. Not anymore.
Fire everybody.
You're the hit the curb guy. Okay. And then when I show up, it's bite the curb. Jordan. How about that? No, not really. He says down here at the bottom, when and how will prices change? In the past month, we have raised prices in a manner that was inclusive of expected tariffs while also honoring previously pre-ordered prices. Unfortunately, the dramatic increase in tariff levels have now made this approach impossible. To minimize confusion during this rapidly changing situation, we will be changing newly affected pre-order product listings to reflect our normal non-tariff based price. We will also add a notice indicating that a tariff surcharge will be added at the time of the product's arrival. So when your Big Bad Toy Store orders come in, there's going to be a surcharge added to it. We will inform you of the full amount before your payment method is charged. You will also be able to cancel your pre-order at that time if the surcharge amount is something you do not wish to pay. At least they're giving you the option without like losing a deposit. Some stuff has a deposit. Like some expensive Mezco figures they require a non-refundable deposit. Mm-hmm. But in this case, they will refund it if you don't want to pay that surcharge.
I think a good exercise would be to go to every toy company's site and see if they're doing this. Like, for instance, what is Mezco doing? What is NECA doing? You know, what, like...
Mezco doesn't carry a lot of stuff in stock.
That's true. So, that's true.
Yeah. He says, today we expect the surcharge may be between 15 to 40% of the pre-order price. Again, it's not 145% of the pre-order price because that's retail price.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be whatever the manufacturing cost to get it from China is.
Yeah.
So that's why it would be 15 to 40%. He says, however, that could change as the situation continues to unfold. I do think Trump said he's stopping at 145. There was no reason to go higher.
Yeah, I mean, he went really high really fast, and now it's been 2 or 3 weeks. And
I think Xi Jinping, I don't know his name, but mm-hmm. the Chinese president, he said he's not going up, I think, as well. So I think they've stabilized.
Yeah,
stabilized at 145%, which is really high. He says, please note that any items currently in stock are not subject to the tariff. Well, to the surcharge, but I'm telling you, man, it looks to me, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, and Joel at Big Bad, if you ever see this, you probably won't, but it seems like prices did go up on stuff in stock. Were Marvel Legends already 28 on Big Bad, or were they 26? I thought they were 26. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to throw him under the bus because I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So that's what Big Bad is doing. Let's see. And then he goes into talk about tariffs and stuff. He says, in the past month, we have raised prices in a manner that was inclusive of expected tariffs while also honoring... Oh, I already read that. He says, I absolutely hate increasing prices to you, but the tariff situation is beyond our control. As consumers, we have to keep that in mind, I think. Retailers and manufacturers, this is not in their control. Like, you're paying a tariff now on...
Yeah.
You want to buy something from a Chinese online store like AliExpress Temu, you're paying more. Or there might be a charge when it arrives, like you got to pay to get this thing now that it's in the country.
Well,
I don't know.
think, yeah, I'm trying to think because that's, well, yeah.
And
yeah, I don't know.
I've heard that they've stopped all shipments to the U.S. But I still have one thing on pre-order from AliExpress, a CT Toys. I'm interested to see how this is going to unfold.
Yeah.
If the mailman shows up and says, okay, this is like, you got to pay now, or I go to the post office, like, yeah, if you want your package, you got to pay this fee.
Yep.
I might be like, send it back.
Right? Shoot.
Yeah,
man. And when that happens, they charge. So, for instance, we've had some situations where an international customer will buy something from Valaverse.com. Now, we're very clear that we do not pay the import and duty fees. You pay the shipping, and then you're on the hook as an international buyer to pay the duties and taxes when it arrives. Sometimes you're charged, sometimes you're not. It's weird. It's like it depends, if they feel like doing it or not. But
yeah,
we've had some people that didn't want to pay the duty fees, so the shipper is like the shipping company, like UPS, is like, so what do you want us to do with this? You can either have it shipped back to you and then you have to pay to get it back, or we could just abandon it. And I'm like, just abandon it, And then we have to tell the customer, like, look, you're not getting your money back because you knew you had to pay duties and taxes. You're not getting that back because you wouldn't pay the portion that you're responsible for paying. So again, I'm not paying to get that back. Why am I going to be out that money? You're the one that placed the order. You knew what you were getting into. So there's that.
All right. So that's the situation with BBTS. If you order from them, and there he says, sincerely, Joel Boblet. He's the founder and president of Big Bad Toy Store. So that was an email I had. In my email, let's see. I don't want to show that yet. Okay.
I have to tinkle.
Go ahead. I'll read some super chats. Where did I leave off? That's the hardest part, to know where I left off. Aha! Look at this. Look at this handsome son of a bitch right here.
Toy Games!
Toy Games!
You
Thank you for the super chat.
Toy Games!
He says, you adjust to what life throws at you. Maybe just support quality companies that care. Also, I'm not wearing pants. That makes two of us. Thank you, Toy Games. Spec Up Slab. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Much appreciated. He says, more importantly, and I'm new to the Action Force line, so forgive me if you made one, but are we going to get a green beret figure? I appreciate your guys' podcasts. They are great to catch up on when working. Let me bring this back up when Bobby comes back. Let's see here. Vishay V. Conley, Super 7 is a huge part of the reason for the hysteria and confusion of what's going on in the toy space. Yeah, when they're charging an 8% tariff fee on stuff that wasn't tariffed at that rate, it is going to confuse consumers that, they're the fans of their toys. To me, it's very disingenuous. They could have just been upfront with it, like, we got to raise 8% across the board, even stuff that wasn't charged a tariff. But they didn't do that. To me, it's really scummy. Spencer Wild says Veebs didn't have an interview with Flynn last month. Really? Maybe he's laying low right now. He must be laying low. Yeah. Bill Utley says Bobby doesn't like berets. Yeah, but you can make a green beret figure without the beret, right? Hammertron says charging a tariff fee on something that wasn't tariffed is illegal. Is it? I don't know the law. Ionic Blood 666 says CMD store flat out stopped shipping to the States. The Canadian toy, they stopped shipping here, huh? Yeah, it's okay. Pretty soon they'll be part of the United States. That's a joke. Relax, Canadians. Geraint Horton says here in New Zealand, the government wanted taxes on overseas shopping. Now pay product, high shipping, GST can be 3 to 5 times the figure price. That's insane. Wow. Geraint, how did I not know you were in New Zealand? That's crazy. Did I just see a ginger ale and a cup of ice? Ooh. Aha! That's what I'm talking about. Okay, back to the. I got a couple super chats here that you need to answer. So Spec Ops Labs sent in this $20. Thank you. He says he's new to the Action Force line, so forgive him if you've already made one. But are you going to make a Green Beret figure?
I can. I don't have like 100% plans for it, but it's like, do you want one because you want a guy wearing like a Green Beret, like a Falcon? Or is it like you just want a guy in a file card like his background is Green Beret? Because there's two different ways of thinking. If you want the guy who that's his background, I'm all for it. If you just want a guy wearing a Green Beret were not worn on the battlefield. They were ceremonial only. So if you want one background, I'll see what I can do for you.
All right. Well, Bobby, it's time to say thank you to Kent Heltzinger. Kent Heltzinger, thank you so much for the insane super chat. Thank you, Kent. Wow. We appreciate Kent Heltzinger here so much. Thank you, Kent. He says, hey, Ryan and Bobby, question for Bobby. With some of the talk about not having enough toys for the holidays from some of these companies, would you consider doing something for Toys for Tots to help out the kids who normally already don't get much?
So this isn't something that I publicize because it's just something that I just do. Is I always donate to Toys for Tots. I don't donate Action Force stuff because Action Force stuff is age graded 14 plus. It is collector product. It does have some sharp points and things like that. You just don't want that stuff getting in the hands of kids that are unsuspecting of it. So, I don't do that. However, I either go through my stuff here, my overflow of stuff that I've done in videos that I don't need anymore. I will donate that to Toys for Tots during the winter, or if I find stuff at the store, I'll get it and I'll donate. So I always donate for Toys for Tots. I love that organization. I think it's fantastic.
And also, I mean, cash donations are always welcome for Toys for Tots. I think it's going to be a good year for Toys for Tots, especially with these tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, just a prediction for me, I mean, a guy that doesn't know anything, if the tariffs continue, we're going to have some empty shelves. And not just in the toy aisle, but there will be some empty toy shelves at our retail stores. So, yeah, as collectors, we can come together and make donations. Because, I mean, look what Cato did last year with the victims of Hurricane Helene, organizing huge donations to help families that lost everything. He took it upon himself to organize it and brought the community together, and people shipped so many toys and helped out more families than I know of. And it was awesome. So, I mean, we could do the same thing this year for Toys for Tots. Good chance that toys will be scarce if the tariffs continue. Thank you, Kent, for that very nice super chat. Zakanen, thank you so much, man. He gifted 5 3POA podcast memberships. I'm just now seeing it, and I can't scroll up that high. Sorry, Zakanen. I can't scream the names of the people who got those gifted memberships, But thank you very much. Zakanan, check out his channel. He just hit 500 subs. Zakanan, drop a link to your own channel in the chat. Everyone, go give him a sub. Suka with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Suka. Shout out to Bobby. In a world of companies yelling they are raising prices, he's out here still fighting for his customers and still trying to lower the cost. That's that real shit.
Some people appreciate it. Some people don't.
Now, keep in mind, for those that didn't watch this video, you have no plans to raise prices right now. That could change.
Yeah.
You're taking it day by day.
Yep. If anything, it's like, listen, before I raise prices, I will most likely pull back. Like the stuff that I have coming the second half of the year, Series 6 and the new series that I'm going to talk about, actually 2 new series that I'm talking about. I'll just delay that stuff. I'll just tell the factory, like, we're going to put a pause on it for now because I'd rather not, I don't want to raise prices. So it's like, you guys don't want to pay higher prices. I don't want to charge higher prices. So if anything, I'll just hold it back until we can, assess, see. Who knows? It could be one of those situations. Maybe this will never go away. Maybe it'll just be stuck there forever. I don't know, but I hope it's not. So, again, I will pause stuff coming in. Like we have, some in-stock stuff. We got some convention exclusives coming. So it's like, we'll have stuff, but maybe just that Series 6 stuff, some other future stuff. Maybe we pause until 2026. We'll see. But at least there's options. There's options to do that instead of just immediately being reactionary and just raising prices.
Do you have anything on the water now?
I have one shipment, that shipment that I said that went up by 11 grand. That one.
Oh, that's still on the water. Okay.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Suka. Zakanan with the super chat. Thank you, Zakanan. He says, hashtag save Jordan. Do we need to?
Do we need to?
I'm the behind the scenes guy.
He was here yesterday.
Yeah? Helping pack orders?
Because we got the shipment of the Steel Brigades and the IshCon / Shop the Curiosity exclusive in.
Ooh.
I know. I'm looking at it right over there.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at it and its variant.
When are those? Can you say when those are announced, what they are?
I'm going to announce them this week because Shop the Curiosity is, a week from today. And so originally this exclusive was just going to be for IshCon. But then I looked at it as like, look, Shop the Curiosity, it's just one day. It's the week before. It's the upper Northeast. IshCon's further south. I figured, listen, I want to give everyone a chance. So I talked with Ish. I'm like, Ish, this is what I'm going to do. You have the exclusive also, but I'm going to bring some to the Shop the Curiosity show first so that the people in the Northeast have a chance to come see that show and come and get the exclusive. And then the following week, we'll have more at IshCon. So it's becoming a shared show exclusive.
Cool. Well, I bet Shop the Curiosity's thrilled about that. That's a little
Nicole was psyched when I told her.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, thank you, Zakanan. Oh, look who's here. We got Articulated Ninja Reviews. He says, hey, Blake, it's looking like I'm going to need a diss track for Super 7 at this point. Upcharging already prior and stock items is wild. I would love to see another diss track from Ninja. That'd be great. Let's see here. We got Gotcha Gray. Thanks for the super chat. What is the difference in shipping now from COVID? What is the difference in shipping?
I mean, it's a lot cheaper now. Like, yes.
Oh, on your containers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, shoot, man. I remember during COVID, we were initially getting quotes of like $30,000 to $40,000 for a container.
Yeah.
And it was like, I found an alternative route to go via FedEx and UPS. They were offering this non-container, like it all came over in a container, but then to get shipped to me, like, they just threw it on trucks. It wasn't like in your container that gets put on another truck and then gone. So it was like a spread out shipment. And that was a much cheaper option, but that was still around like 20 grand, 25 grand. Like, dude, that's the thing. Like, I was taking a bath on shipping early on.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it started to come down. I found a new shipping company that I was using. They came down. The rates were much better for like Series 3 and the SDSs, and then Series 4. And then I started using a new company that I found that was even better, and their rates were fantastic. And I thought that using them, I liked using them a lot better. Now that's who I use. But again, it's expensive. Shipping's expensive, man. Again, it's like when you're creating a toy line and stuff like that, these are the kind of things you have to think about. Like, dude, when I ship my toy line a year and a half or 2 years from now, how much is shipping going to cost?
Let me ask you this: you said your one shipment got a $11,000 additional fee for tariffs.
Yeah.
Since tariffs are taxes.
Yep.
Is that a write-off on your taxes at the end of the year?
I have asked my accountant that. He has not gotten back to me. I would assume it has to be. It has to be a write-off.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah. It's, if anything, it's a it goes into your they call it COGS, cost of goods, like your cost of doing business. I assume it goes in there. But yeah, it's a write-off nonetheless.
That doesn't mean that you get $11,000 back.
No,
it means that
do not.
$11,000 of your profit isn't taxed.
Exactly.
That's what a write-off is.
Yep.
Tito Man is here. Thank you for the super chat. He says, building off the Toys for Tots question, is another charity trooper on the table?
I've been thinking about it. A lot of people had I think like teal is the color for like testicular cancer. So people said I should do like a teal steel brigade or something like that. There's something I want to do. I have some ideas. Maybe not this year. Maybe we'll do something for next year or something. But it's, the Steel Brigade went over very well. We still have a few left. It was great. We raised so much money for that charity, and I want to do that again.
Listen, if you do testicular cancer, you need to reach out to Tom Green. Be like, Tom, come get involved in this. Be part of the promotion. He has one nut.
So does Lance Armstrong, dude.
So, yeah, but he cheated at sports. Tom Green shaped my adolescence.
Yeah.
I love Tom Green, man. He was so funny. He was so, oh my God. Back in the day, his show was it was so good, dude. He changed things so much. Like, people write him off now, but
he was punked before punked.
Yes, he was Jackass before Jackass. He was doing stupid stuff, just his whole absurdist style of humor. I loved it. I don't know if people that watch the show can tell, but I love Tom Green. And he has one nut, so do testicular cancer Carrick or something. That'd be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thomas goes nostalgic. Thanks for the super chat. He says, happy Saturday. Great video today, Bobby.
Thanks, man.
That's nice to hear.
Thanks.
Thomas was in Thunderbolts.
Like in the movie?
He's in the movie.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh.
He put a video out about it on his channel.
Does he have a speaking line?
Yeah, everyone I'm dead serious. Mods, please put a link to Thomas's channel in the chat. Everyone, please go check it out. Drop him a sub. He's a great diorama maker. He puts out great content. I like Thomas a lot. He needs a bigger following. And he was in Thunderbolts, so check it out. Dominic Lenzi, thanks for the super chat. He says, haven't caught a live one in a minute. What's up, LP and Bobby?
What's up? Thanks for catching the live one.
Yeah, good to see you. Blake says, Bobby, just canceled the line. It was failing anyways.
I know. Yeah. It's been failing for 4 years.
Just let it go.
Holding on by a thread,
Figure Fight Club with the super chat. Thank you, Abby. He says, Bobby, you may have a few people come up to you at Shop the Curiosity to pick up some exclusives for me.
If somebody says that it's for you, I'm not selling it to them. I mean granted, now they're not going to say it, but
he can just wait for the next weekend.
Yeah, just
at
wait,
IshCon.
dude. Like, it's not going to sell out at the Shop the Curiosity show. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You'll get nothing. Good day, sir.
I said good day. Thanks, Abby. Jeremy Jernigan is here. What's up, man? He says, hey, Ryan, how much is the tariff on BOFA? But for D's, you can't afford it. Okay. Jeremy came back, a week and a half ago now. We brought back Loose But Complete on Wednesdays, so might be doing more of those going in the future. Super, huh?
Does anybody actually watch that show?
No. No, but it's fun. Super Hallelujah. Thanks for the super chat. He says 3POA needs my tariff money more than the other toy companies. At least certain shills get free product. Would be a shame if they had to suffer. There's no tariff on the 3POA. I got news for you. We are tariff free here. Right?
Tariff free, baby.
Yep. Eric Alfred Abel, thank you for the member chat, man. Member for 21 months. Thank you, Eric.
Nope.
He says, I am sick of getting screwed by the toy companies and the scalpers. I got lowballed for my Mezco Indiana Jones by some J-Rod on Facebook. It's on site. Damn it. Eric's going to beat my ass at DFW. Hold on. Where is it? He posted up this Mezco in a Mezco group, and I didn't have this. He posted it up and said, 150 shipped. I said, sold. And it arrived yesterday.
Damn.
So, thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate it because I love Indiana Jones and I wanted this one. So you hooked it up, man. I didn't lowball him. I paid him exactly what he asked for.
I wanna read something on the show. Hold on.
Okay, go get it. I hope to see you at DFW, man. I hope you're going to be there. John Papa Sergio, thank you for the super chat, bud. He says, Bobby. Oh, I'll wait for Bobby to come back to read this. Okay, what do you want to? Hold on, John.
Yeah, you can. Read the super chat. Yeah.
Okay, he has a question for you, Bobby. Would you do a create a character contest where the winner has their created character added to the line?
Not a big fan of that.
Here's what I'll say, and I know nothing. It seems to me the legal part of that would be a nightmare.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. There's also like, I want to create it all. Like it's my line, it's my baby. Like I don't want to give any of that up. So it's like, it even bothers me like that kind of like Wasp Raiders in the line. Like, yeah, it was part of series 1 and stuff. And the BotCon guys kind of came up with it and then I tweaked it. But it's like, that's not it's not mine, So I look as like, I don't want to give that up. It's kind of like the ego me, but it's I don't know. It's like, I want to create the characters. I want to do it all. So yeah, I don't, I mean, it's like, when they did the Create a Cobra or the Steel Brigade, it's like, yeah, you can name it and you got a piece of paper, but you never really created it. Now I know like Carson, he like let people kind of come up with designs. Yeah. It's not something I'm down for. Cool that other people do it. I'm just not down for it.
All right, now you got something?
So yeah, so I got in a box from a friend of ours, and I opened the box, and on top of the box there was an envelope that had my name on it. But then I look on the back of the envelope, and what is that?
It's not a potato. It's a potato.
So I said, let me see what this tomfoolery is all about. So dear Mr. Vala, on behalf of Lil Pants at White Potato Productions, we sincerely hope that you enjoy your box of Ollie's Con exclusive Indiana Jones Adventure Series action figures. Mr. Pants has provided his shopping partner, Mr. Scott Hughes, payment in full for your shipment of these wonderfully fabulous toys. Thank you for your continued support of Lil Pants and White Potato Productions by appearing on the 3POA podcast. Your insight is always entertaining. Ryan, Lil Pants.
That's from Scott.
Pants.
Oh, let me blow that up. Show that. Yeah.
So, thank you, Ryan, for paying for my cheap Ollie stuff.
Yeah.
And thank you, Scott, for this hilarious letter.
I'll give a little
At
more
first
backstory.
I read it and I was like, what? And I was like,
yeah.
is this a joke? Like, I didn't think it was like serious. So, but yeah, I got, Scott found, some of the adventure series, and he found like really good ones.
Yeah.
It's like, who is it? It's, I got a couple Jones seniors, and I got a regular indie, or maybe two regular indies and two Jones seniors. But oh no, it's a Grail Knight, it's an indie, and then two seniors.
Okay.
So yeah, which this is awesome, man, because I wanted this series. Like I wanted to see more about it, and I wasn't paying like retail for it. I didn't want it that bad, but can't turn down Ollie's prices, right?
Yeah, so he was at Ollie's, and he sends me a picture of Henry Jones Sr. and the Grail Knight. I'm like, oh crap. I was like, I want another Henry Jones. And Henry Jones was the one that kind of went up in price. You know, while a lot of stuff stayed under retail, Henry Jones actually skyrocketed. So I told him, I said, I want another Henry. I said, I think Bobby needs both of those.
Yeah.
And he's like, should I get him for him? I said, yeah, just get him. I'll pay for it. Just send him to him. And then if he doesn't want him, I'll take him back with me.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, but I thought you had wanted him, so that's cool. But that's hilarious. He went through all the trouble of making that letter, and
it was very creative.
Right on. Hey, thank you, Scott. That's awesome, man.
Very creative.
Very cool. Yeah, he is. Now, I got news. Ollie's is coming to Washington finally.
For real?
Yeah, bad news. It's like going to be an hour and a half from me, but it's a start. It's
like you don't want to risk an hour and a half to go there and actually not find anything. You almost feel like, oh, I got to buy something, right?
I mean, I wouldn't go an hour and a half just to go to an Ollie's. You know, it would be cheaper to buy it at full retail locally.
Oh,
But
crap. I need all these other crap figures to build the artifact. Damn.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
That sucks.
Yeah. All right. Back to the chat. And then I have something else I want to read from China. From China. Kent Helsinger with the member chat. Thank you, Kent Helsinger, for being a member for 15 months. He says, another question. Do you think more people will shift back to 3.75 or with increased prices in 3.75 lines?
Well, no, because I mean, they're kind of you see like some of these boutique brands, they're selling 3 3/4 stuff. It's like it costs just as much as my stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you go look at, I don't know, whatever those companies are. I know, like, my friend who does Dime Number Legends, I think those figures are like $30. It's like, smaller doesn't mean cheaper in collector,
Yeah, not anymore. But I don't know. I think if anything happens, I think the hobby becomes even more niche after this, however it shakes out,
Yeah.
Especially, is there a resurgence of 3.75 and 4-inch?
People say there is, but I think they're in an echo chamber. It's like, oh, look at all these companies doing it. It's like, yeah, look at all these small niche boutique companies doing it. It's like, listen, man, Hasbro abandoned the 3 3/4 stuff. It's like, yeah, Star Wars is still doing the retro stuff, but it's like, look at all the stuff that got abandoned. It's like, yeah, Super 7's doing O-ring. Listen, let's not start about Super 7 here. But it's guys, like, don't like people can argue all they want about a resurgence. I don't think there's a resurgence because again, it's small quantities. It's like, yeah, there's beloved, like really hardcore 3 3/4 inch fans out there, but that's still a dying scale. Like, it's just not, it's not going to come back.
At mass retail, we still see the vintage collection from Star Wars, and we still see some like a very limited amount of Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And what else is there? I think the Fortnite 4-inch line finally went away, didn't it? And then like Reaction.
It's just about gone. The Fortnite one is just about gone.
Yeah. There's not a ton. It's mostly like 6-inch and up. Be interesting. Now, be careful. Mike Joseph warned in the chat that he has very little accessories and they're easily lost.
Yeah, I got them all. But the thing, all right, so the thing I'm mad about, and guys, I talk about YS textures all the time. He wears a tweed suit.
Yeah.
This figure is smooth.
That's because they reused that body on everyone. It's like the suited Indiana Jones body.
Oh,
right?
yeah, but even like Marcus, he wore like a tweed suit. So it's like you could have put that texture on everything. That was the suits at the time. It's like, dude, really? Like, you couldn't put the texture on this?
Tell you what,
I'm not surprised. It's just like, it's just annoying. It's really annoying.
But that likeness, though.
It's a great likeness.
Yeah, they got the head sculpt really, really good.
Yeah.
Blake Tarpley says, please do a Little Pants 4-inch figure.
I just don't know why he has a trigger finger.
For shooting fools.
Yeah, who are you shooting?
Yeah. Do you know what Little Pants is?
I don't. Do I? Is it gonna?
Cookout buns in my hand, little pants in the spot. Yeah, I'm the man. Grill marks clean, I'm the barbecue king. Flip a hot dog, make the mustard sing. Snap back slow, but my vibe's on high. Glizzy in the air like it's 4th of July. Got the real.
That's Little Pants.
Why do you guys torture me?
It's good.
Why?
He's a part of the show now.
Why?
Peak Obi-Wan says, LP, what's new behind you on the shelf? I don't know if I put a bunch of new stuff on the shelves yet. I got a lot of stuff on the table over there. Stay tuned, Peak Obi-Wan. Toy Collector Magazine series says, happy Saturday night, everyone. What's up, Toy Collector? Yeah, Toy Collector Magazine is still tariff-free. Great magazine. Check it out. Sci-Fi George with the super chat. Thank you. Bobby, would you ever do a bad wave for Action Force?
What do you mean a bad wave?
Bad guy wave?
Huh?
A bad guy wave, I think.
Yeah, I've been talking about that for months. Just wait till DFW. All you guys, you keep asking questions. Wait till DFW. Listen, all will be revealed at DFW. That panel I'm showing more than I've ever showed before. So just wait.
Hold on. 600 people now watching. Thank you so much. We got 542 here on YouTube and over 60 on Twitter. So thank you guys.
I thought nobody watched us anymore.
No, they don't.
I thought we were toxic and nobody cared about us.
Yeah, it's a horrible show.
Horrible show.
Thank you, everyone. If you're new here, please subscribe. And everyone, please hit that like button. Sci-Fi George with another one. He meant to say Bathwave. Build-A-Figure.
I've toyed with the idea. I just don't know what would be compelling enough. Also, it's like, to me, I don't know. It's like, Marvel Legends, they did the Build-A-Figure wave, so the figures came with less, so you got your Build-A-Figure. It's like my figures are kind of chock full of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want to dumb down the figure for a Build-A-Figure part. I'd rather just do another item that is whatever that Build-A-Figure thing is, like a diorama or, giant weapon or something like that. So it's not really something I've given it some thought. It's just not something that I'm like, yeah, I really want to do that. So at least not yet.
I would, I would rather have a build an item wave.
A build an item?
Like what if each figure came with the sandbag that all connected together into a sandbag wall?
Yeah.
Something like that. That's just one idea, but because with Action Force, it's often about army building and popping and swapping and customizing. I'd rather just buy the whole figure at once separately.
I got you.
But a build an item, could be better, I guess.
Remember when stuff came in these?
Oh, I'm glad that era is over with. Suda Huba with the member chat. Thank you, Suda Huba. Hey, Bobby, thanks from the Great White North for bringing down your shipping costs. It's appreciated.
Hi, man. Trying to do what we got to do. I know it's tough. Like it, you know, you got to do what you got to do to keep people. It's like you don't want to alienate customers and people in different regions. So it's like you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So I'm always working to get stuff down for you guys because I know it's tough because, you know, the majority of collectible lines is in the US. So it's like you guys are, you know, if there was a line that came out that started, you know, that was in Canada or a toy company in the UK, and I was like, shoot, man, I want that. It's kind of like when I buy vintage Action Force stuff. It's like, well, the majority of it was in the UK. So it's like when you buy it here on the secondary market, it's like upcharge because it's here and someone has to pay to get it here and stuff. So it's like, you know, I want to go over the UK and buy vintage Action Force stuff so that I can like pay the better prices. So, you know.
Thank you, Sudahuba.
Which, speaking of vintage Action Force, I was talking with Tony the other night and he was like, I think you've surpassed Palatoy Action Force for items.
Oh, really?
And I was like, you know what? I have a book that's like every item. And now he would know, he's the expert on it. But I was like, you know what? I bet I have. And it's like, I know that I've been out longer because they were around 82 to 85. And then it became International Heroes when Hasbro acquired them through Tonka and stuff. So already I've been around longer than the Palatoy Action Force range, and I put out more items in the Palatoy Action Force range, which is, if that's the case, that's quite an accomplishment. It's like, you know, like,
well, you know what that means to me?
What does that mean to you?
Time to party. I'm just kidding. Greg Harris, member for 12 months. Thank you, Greg. Bobby used the Sean Connery head for a Rock figure. The Rock.
Ooh.
Which is a James Bond movie.
Listen, I watched a 40-minute like YouTube video the other day about how he is James Bond. And like,
it's a James Bond movie. I'm telling you, it was intentional.
But this person like went nuts.
Yeah.
With like how they found like newspaper articles that were in previous movies and this and that. I'm like, wow, they went like deep. But I'm like, they must have had a historian that like said, hey, we're gonna do a James Bond movie and not call him James Bond. That's cool, right? Which, you know, makes sense. But yeah, I could put the Sean Connery head on a tactical, probably like the special ops figure with the special ops gear pack.
Yeah,
that probably look right. Now I need a Nicolas Cage head. If anyone's got a Nicolas Cage head, send it my way.
Let's see here. Dino Spumoni with a super chat. Thank you. Did you say there was an exclusive for next weekend? Yes, he did.
I did. I sure did.
At Shop the Curiosity.
Yep. I'll announce it this week.
And then what? The weekend, 2 weekends after that at IshCon in North Carolina?
North Carolina. Durham, North Carolina.
Durham, North Carolina. I got cousins there.
So what you're saying is you're actually coming?
No. I should have hit him up, though. It's too late. But it's all about my work. Andre Cologne, thanks for the super chat. He says, can't wait for the Valapus figure reveal. By the way, Bobby, myself and you, Valapus, we destroyed the toy community.
I told you, it's on my resume. I updated LinkedIn. It's on there now. So yeah,
we are so powerful. We have so much power.
So powerful.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna put
toxic.
I'm gonna put the super chats on hold for a minute. I want to get back to tariffs quickly. Now, this is mostly for us as Americans and other people who don't know what's going on inside China. I actually do have a friend in China who lives there. He's not Chinese, but he will remain anonymous. But I asked him about what's going on over there as far as tariffs. Like, what impact does he see? Okay. Mm-hmm. This is what he said. And this is just like interesting to me. It doesn't, take it as you will. This is his experience in China. He says the difference between the well-off and the dirt poor here is massive. Sounds like a communist country. Mm-hmm. He says everyone I know here is fine for now. I don't know people with factory jobs, but I don't doubt they're hurting. COVID, for me, for example, was inconvenient. Some lockdown, but I still kept my job and got paid. Some rural areas were locked down for over 2 years straight. Jeez. They couldn't leave their tiny towns. None of that info was readily available here at the time. So right now, the value of the currency is stable within. Regular people won't see much of a difference yet. It's all propped up by the government. Now, if I want to go home, it's going to cost me a bomb with the exchange rate. Personally, with the tariffs, my sales to the U.S. have dropped to 0. Now, that's just my sideline, his side job. But I make good money doing it. So, several months to a year of no sales is a big chunk of income. If that was my main job, I'd be screwed, which must be the reality for a bunch of people and their employees here. One of the realities of living here is that there really is no news. They have news on the TV and in newspapers, but if you want to really know anything about anything, you need to make your own arrangements. So often I'll get mates messages from abroad or see YouTube videos on an issue pop up. If you only had your ear to the ground here, you wouldn't know a thing about it.
Jeez.
He goes on, these tariffs are going to get everyone eventually. It just depends on your level of exposure as to how fast and how hard you get hit. So there it is from inside China.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it still is relatively early. We are starting to see impacts. Everyone's been sharing these pictures of the port of Seattle, where I live, and it is empty. But I've seen it empty many times. I see the port of Seattle almost every day, guys.
Do you really?
Yeah, the way it looks now is not that unusual. It's like, oh wow, it's empty. But I've seen it like that before. But
Okay.
I mean, give it time. We're going to see how this all shakes out, and what the end game is. All right, I just wanted to share that. I thought it was interesting. Don Von Doom says, "What's Walmart going to do? I think they're going to have empty shelves." Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, if this doesn't get fixed before stuff starts shipping out for the holidays, you're going to see the current stuff is going to sell out, and then, or we're just going to be left with the same stuff on the shelf for Christmas. So it'll be something. It'll be something.
Yep. All right. Ironic Bionic, thanks for the super chat. He says, I still want Bobby to do a fantasy line.
Why?
Lil Pants.
Why?
Because people
Others
like
do
fantasy. Because it's cool.
So I don't know what I would do, though.
This is great. Lil Pants can be a gnome bombardier. I like that. Tim Taser, member for 21 months. Thank you, Tim. Bobby, could China move their toy factories to a country like Cuba or Venezuela, gung-ho movie style, where they could still utilize cheap labor?
Okay, so here, I was going to do a second part to the tariff video because it's just so many people in the comments why can't you just move it to the U.S.? It's I love naive people. I do. It's exhausting. Okay, so when I first started Action Force, I looked at and contacted several plastic injection molding companies here in the U.S. I sent them samples of Marvel Legends, Black Series, Classified, hey, I want to do these figures. Actually, Classified wasn't out yet. So I sent Legends and Black Series, probably just Legends, but 6-inch figures saying, hey, can you replicate this? They looked at it, I was look, we could probably do it. But the lead time, they said it would take them close to 2 years to be able to get up to speed, to figure it out, to get it done.
Wow.
Now, the hardest part is going to be the deco, the spray mask and stuff. That stuff's not done here. It is not. Some tampo, but the spray masks and stuff, none of that stuff is done. No one utilizes it here. That's what China is so good at. That's why you see other stuff. Yes, stuff in South America, stuff in Mexico, but Mexico, those factories make for the Mexican market, dumbed down, not high quality stuff. Again, I talked about a toy company, those fist figures. The guy made them in Colombia. Well, I haven't had one in hand, but I did not hear good things about them. So it's like, okay, well, was that the factory? Or was that someone who just didn't know how to produce toys? I don't know, probably a combination of both. But it's like, there's a reason China does it so well, because they've been doing it. Now, again, going back to the US thing, the other thing they said is, look, whatever their cost is in China, it'll probably cost close to 4 times that amount of money. So if you have, say, a $30 figure from China retail, it's going to be $70 or more here, just because of the cost it'll take to make that figure here. That's why it's like all the Americas, yeah, bring it back to America. Like, do it here, make it here. Like, guys, do some research before you make a stupid comment, please. Like, I know you're trying to say, well, if they can do it, why can't we do it? Yeah, man, we haven't done it in 40 years. China's been doing toys for 40 years. So that's why we can't do it here. It's just not, you can't get up to speed. Again, you think I'm going to take 2 years off to just get a factory to do it? And some guy, and I was like, this is where I need a class in patience, because someone was just like, just build your own factory here.
Just build it.
I wish I could wake up in the morning and run my face into a wall and then start thinking up rocket science.
Just order some, injection molding machines and
put it this way. One of the factory, when I visited the factory doing the Vanguard, when I was in China, they had like 15 injection molding machines. One machine was like $500,000. They had like 15 of them. It's like, yeah, man, just do it here. Just do it here. Like, love
it's no big deal. You just
no
build
big deal,
it.
Man. No big deal. Yeah, cool. All right.
But now,
you know what? How about I'll hire you to run my toy company? You find a factory, make it here, or just build a factory. Cool. You can be my project manager. Awesome.
No, man, I got a real job.
Blake Tarpley just set up 3D printers. Yeah, but Gridiron's psych now. I mean, they're still making crap, but I mean, just,
Now,
it's
okay,
like,
now hold on. Now listen.
Yeah.
As far as bringing manufacturing back to the States, it will take a long time.
Long time.
With the advancement of AI and automation, do you think maybe one day there will be factories here with limited staff where costs are kept down and they could pump out figures?
Yep.
That will take decades.
But the thing
is it worth the investment?
The toy industry is not going to be the first industry to do it.
Right.
Because the toy industry is so small. And that's the other thing. Like, guys, like, toy collectors living in an echo chamber. And again, like, I've had people in the comments, like, not realizing that toys is more than collector product. It's like, dude, toys is so much bigger than collector product. So another industry, automotive, electronics, they will have to be the ones to do it, because their infrastructure and their business is so much bigger than toys. So someone has to lead the way. I mean, why don't you just lead the way? I just explained why you can't lead the way. So
you have $1 billion?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So that's why it can't be done here. And that's why it's like, look, you think I haven't looked into other countries? I am, and I'm still currently, but again, they're not there.
And it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, we're still going to go through the same growing pains. Like, yes, I am looking at options X, Y, and Z at the moment in case the tariff thing doesn't get resolved. But again, also, here's another thing to think about. I have probably $4 million worth of tooling in China right now, the steel molds that I paid for. All the Action Force items I did, all that tooling, Vanguard, all of it, $4 million. Those steel molds weigh tons. They're giant steel blocks. I could probably import them out of China. It'll probably be a pain in the ass. But also, do you realize how much that would cost? It would probably cost me $500,000 to just get them shipped somewhere else. So you guys have to think, like, just stop and think for a second. Like, before you armchair quarterback type your comment, Well, I'll show him. Watch, I'll just do it somewhere else. Like, just stop and be like, let me assess this. Let me see. Is this a bright comment to make?
There's layers to this. It's not just
layers.
flip a switch and you start printing toys in the United States or in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's not that simple. And I imagine things may start moving that way.
Yep.
I know Hasbro can already, they already have manufacturing in Vietnam.
Yep. But Vietnam, look, I've seen samples from Vietnam. Not great. And the funny thing is, the factories in Vietnam are all run by the factory owners in China.
Right.
So,
yeah.
yeah,
It's going to be a long time, you know, and is this going to be the end of, by the way, I mean, life goes on. We can find new hobbies. This hobby's fun, you know.
yeah.
I don't want it to go away.
I don't know what else I would do. I'd have to go find a real job.
Yeah. I got something you could do. You got to move out here, though.
Screw that.
Oh,
I know.
But I mean,
Oh.
you know, opinion time. Could this be the beginning of the end for the adult collectible action figure?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: the adult collector action or the adult collector came about because people were making toys. Like, you know, when you think back, like, okay, for me, the first thing that identified me as a collector was Power of the Force 2.
Same.
But that was still a line made for kids. It wasn't like they had like collectors in mind. Like, they weren't just saying this is just for collectors. They're like, no, this is going to be for the people that bought the original line and for kids. Okay. Even McFarlane making his 5, you know, or it's 7 POA, the original McFarlane figures. Okay, that was probably the genesis of collector. And then McFarlane toys, like that was like real collector. You had starting lineup, which was kind of collector, but again, still like made for kids. Like the initial toy was always made for kids. It wasn't until you know, like Toy Biz, okay, in the early 2000s making Marvel Legends. But it's like the original Genesis was always about kid first, and it was just a bonus if collectors bought it. And now it just came to the fact that like we're making just strict collector product.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, well, eventually, like, will that go away? And it might. I always thought it might, but yeah, it's like now we're paying prices like collector prices, whereas we used to pay toy prices. You know, Jack's WWF, they were still toy prices. Everything was still toy prices. Power of the Force, like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, still toy prices. It wasn't until like mid to late 2000s where we were paying collector prices. And then it became collector pricing.
It really started to balloon around 2010 to 2012.
Yep.
That's when I noticed, like, it really started to balloon.
Yep. Now look at the comics industry. I mean, comics were, you look at the cover price of comics that have gone up. You go to a comic book store now and see a brand new comic. What are they? $5-6 for a 22-page comic? Yeah. It's like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Which is why the comic book industry is so small now. So it might just be that, whereas everyone's like, this is the golden age of collector. Well, this golden age is going to fall really fast, really hard. Like, you're going to see like the collector market's going to go like this and just start going up. And then you're going to see it, boom, it's just going to plummet, just like the comics industry. Now, comics are still holding on. There's still some hot titles, but not where it was in the 90s and the very early 2000s. So it might just be collectors like a more niche thing. And there's less of us and there's just less companies and less products. You know, I hope I survive it, but, you know, are you going to see maybe the Hasbros, the Mattels, you know, start to back off? You know, NECA's strictly a collector. So what are they going to do? I don't know.
Hasbro is they've already said they're pivoting to more and more digital media. So
yeah. It's kind of crazy because it wasn't that long ago that Jerry McPadower put out articles on LinkedIn about how collector product was close to 50% of the toy industry. it might end very quickly, you know?
Thank you, Tim. Good question. Oh, you're going to love this, Bobby. You're going to love this so much, man. Figure Fight Club with 10 free POA podcast memberships. Thank you so much, Abby. Who got those? We got Mike Malley, Justin Collects, Lou Strasser, Jamie Garcia, Dude Dog Reviews, Miso82, Shindarius, Brian Pierce, Michael Woods, and John Latella, and Unusual Mike Television. Welcome to 3 POA podcast membership. All thanks to Abby from Figure Fight Club. And thank you, Bobby, for putting up with me.
Well, Abby, I hope you're happy because guess what? You have more money to spend on other things at IshCon because you have just lost your ability to buy any of the exclusive items.
Blocked.
Actions have consequences, buddy.
Oh, thank you, Abby, as always. All new channel members, all existing channel members, stay tuned for the after show. It'll be fun. Kevzilla, thanks for the member chat. Great show, Bobby and Ryan. Nice continuation to Bobby's earlier video. A build a weapon or a build a mini dio wave would be awesome. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Shout out to you, Kevzilla. Thank you so much. Eric Alfred Abel with the super chat. Thank you, Eric. Bobby, if you were to do a World War II line, would you do the bad guys properly? Plus the Russian in behind enemy lines and Billy from Predator were cool. Oh, Billy from Predator. Man, if you can make the whole Predator team in 6-inch scale, I would just retire from collecting. That would be all I needed.
NECA did. They did Arnold. Did they do Carl Weathers?
No, he would not let them do it because he was anti-weapon.
Oh, because I was like, they did him as Apollo Creed.
No guns.
Wow. So wait a second. Did his Star Wars figure come with a blaster?
Yeah, but it shot lasers. Listen, I don't want to talk ill of
I know,
those who have passed on. I'm a big Carl Weathers fan.
I know. But it's like, but they did what's his name? They did Shane Black.
They did Shane Black and many different versions of Dutch.
Yeah.
And that's it. They did Dutch's, or they did Dylan's arm.
Dylan's arm, which was so ridiculous that they did his arm.
So you could recreate that scene, but they couldn't do Dylan.
I wonder if now maybe his estate will,
I don't know.
But it's like, where's Billy? And then who's the other guy that got hit with the log?
Billy, that actor's also passed away.
Did he really?
The guy that played Billy?
Oh, the guy that played Billy. I thought you meant the guy that got hit with the log. And that was all. And then Bill Duke played and then you had Blaine,
Yeah.
But shit, what was Bill Duke's saying? My baby girl, she's so sweet. She got everything. Go have me some fun.
Poncho?
No, Poncho. Poncho was the guy that got hit with the log.
Yeah.
Who did Bill Duke play? Mac.
Mac.
Yeah.
Mac,
Jesse Ventura was Blaine.
Yeah, how come there's no Jesse Ventura? Is he like?
Yeah, I would think that guy would want money, man.
That guy's like insane. He's insane.
Jeez.
He could use the money.
Right?
So would you do the bad guys properly? I mean, we all know what he means. Would you put a swastika on the Germans?
No. Listen, man. Listen. Like that's one of the most disgusting symbols on the planet. And I get it. You guys are like, oh, gotta be accurate. Yeah, maybe accurate for you, but that's disgusting to other people. Like, that's a harsh symbol.
I'd say you can put the red band on the arm, kind of like
Marvel
Legends did with Red Skull.
For some reason, the Iron Cross is acceptable, but the swastika is so vile. It's like for Indiana Jones, when they did the 4-inch line, they did Germans. They gave him the Iron Cross. They didn't give him the swastika. it's just like, that's, yeah, I would do Germans and, but like, I can't even imagine someone who would be okay with wanting a figure with a swastika on them. Like that.
No. I mean, people want historically accurate stuff.
I know, but it's just like,
you
gotta draw the line. You gotta say, no, I would never want, like, put it this way.
Some companies have done it.
Some companies have done it.
Yeah.
But it's not okay. Like, that's just not okay. So yeah, I would do them. I just wouldn't put that on them.
Yeah. I mean, customizers would do them themselves anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. Greg Harris with the super chat. Thank you, Bobby. I sent you an eBay link to the Valaverse Instagram for a 3D printed Cage
yeah.
head.
Greg sent me a picture on Facebook, but thanks, Greg. I'm gonna go buy that head.
Let's see here. The man Beast Boy, poor Bobby, too close to this. He survives. Everyone should too. Did you star that?
What was that? Oh yeah, I was like, what sort of dick comment is this?
No, I think he's saying.
Oh,
I think he's saying. I don't know. Man, Beast Boy. Honestly, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I maybe I took it. Maybe I took it the wrong way. I was just like, hey man.
Hold on.
Hey.
Let me read it out loud and slow. Poor Bobby. Poor Bobby. Too close to this. He survives. Everyone should too. I don't know what he's getting at.
Okay, move on.
Okay. Pokey87, thanks for the member chat. Any chance at getting bipods for the bar?
Maybe if I were to ever do a World War II line, maybe I would do that. Listen, real men shot that thing shouldered or hipped. They didn't need no bipod. No way. That's a big boy gun.
The man Beast Boy says just saying he's in it like in the biz.
Ah. Okay.
All right. We are all cut up on super chats and all that. That's all I got. I don't think I had anything else to bring up. That's our tariff discussion. Hopefully all the questions can pause for a minute as far as tariffs go, because again, you're playing it by ear for now.
Yeah.
Taking it day by day.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting seeing how other companies are kind of handling it. Like, look, we saw what Super 7 is doing. Like, honestly, man, like, the majority of people are handling it very poorly. Like, yeah, that Super 7 thing was disgusting, and I saw, Brian from Nacelle, he came out, said, they're not raising prices. They don't really put out much, though. So it's like, okay. Now I saw, you guys know I have no love lost for Skeletron, but it's like, yeah, they put out an update and everyone was like praising them. It's like, hey guys, do you forget how long you're waiting? But they put out something saying that they'll absorb, any tariff fees on pre-order items. It's like, yeah, man, I would assume so.
Yeah.
You got a 4-inch figure that you're close to 4 years on. 4 years for one figure. 4 years. Let me repeat that again for the people in the back, the apologists. 4 years.
Forever.
Yeah. Theirs went up like October. So it's like this October will be 4 years. Ashamed of yourselves. You bet your ass you should absorb the tariff costs on that. Like, come on, dude. Don't act like you're high and mighty, like you're the savior, the white knight, the Harvey Dent we've all been waiting for. Don't even. But it's like the same dudes that gobble that Skeletron shit up are the ones that were probably giving me shit for taking a year and a half during a pandemic. Okay, yeah, they should absorb that cost. Yeah. Thank you, Spencer, as you should.
Spencer says, as someone that backed a few Skeletron 6-inch figures back in 2021, I've just written them off. I think they'll deliver, though. I mean, it's taking forever.
3 years on the vehicle. 3 years. That's so unacceptable. Like, dude, they weren't even in a pandemic. You have zero excuses. Zero.
All right. So before we get too many dislikes,
Listen, I don't care, because they're the ones that are going to sit in their basement like, oh, he was right, but he's a bad man. Oh, he's right, though. I've been waiting 4 years. Oh, but I can't say anything mean. Oh, no. Yeah. Accountability, man.
please hit the like button. Thank you. Channel members, stay tuned for the after show tonight. Check out the Thunderbolts review from last night. That's all I got. Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh. He just had a brain fart and remembered
I
something.
need to tease something. This channel was given a donation of one HasLab Dragonfly.
Can I have it?
No. I was told I could keep it for myself or give it away to one lucky subscriber. So I will be giving it away to one lucky subscriber, but not on this show. But
That's
stay
awfully
tuned
nice
for
of you.
more info. I'm waiting on a few things. You'll get the full story hopefully by Wednesday. If not, then by next Saturday's show. I should be doing a show. Am I doing a show next Saturday? I don't remember. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. But yes, a HasLab Dragonfly giveaway is coming up on this channel. That's all I got. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button on your way out. And in the meantime, Bobby Vala, sign us out.
Tariffs suck. Free trade market.
Thank you.